This is not money. This is just dumbness. This is you not making a decision. This is you being lazy saying, man, $1 million and I'd be set. $2.8 billion Peter Thiel said, the single digit millionaire, you know what that means? Guy with $1 million, or two, or three, or four, cannot even provide his family with proper defense, legal defense in America. They think I'm going in there to talk about sales. I'm going in there to talk about money, because if you don't have your money right, if you're not thinking about money correctly, guess what? You're never going to make a sale. You're never going to push through the objections and the barriers and the hang-ups and everything that goes on in sales. It's a disappointing job. It's a tough job. It's like being an actor. $1 million. Peter Thiel, $2.8 billion Peter Thiel said, the single digit millionaire, you know what that means? Guy with $1 million, or two, or three, or four, cannot even provide his family with proper defense, legal defense in America. And that your daddy didn't tell you that. Your daddy's like, oh man, $1 million, $1 million, you and the money. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you today how to get through all this rejection and disappointment, discouragements, the hang-ups. You got to change the way you look at money. This is not money right here, okay? This is not money. This is just dumbness. This is you not making a decision. This is you being lazy saying, man, $1 million and I'd be set. Just do the math on $1 million. I did this when I was 34 years old. $1 million, if you didn't have any more income, 27 years old and you didn't have any income, $1 million, what does that say right there? Oh, no income, zero income. How would that money last? At $4,000 a month, you got 25 years. Where can you live on $4,000 a month? By the way, $4,000 a month assumes no other income, Social Security system's broken, Medicare is broken, because they are already. It's just a matter of when. Probably going to happen in most of your lifetimes. You'd have to live on $4,000 a month for 25 years. You will be 52 years old, my friend, and dead broke. Millionaire, you're wealthy. You're not wealthy, dude. You're worried is what you are, okay? Because you don't have new income. So watch what happens. What happens if there's an accident, a major car accident? Are you married? Okay, married, kids? Okay, the two kids will cost $1.5 million each to get through college. So you're busted. You understand? So when you come to work in the morning, you're like, man, I need to make 80 grand this year. I need to make 8,000 or 10,000. You guys got to change your think on money. Like if you want to make real money, if you're 47 years old, you have until 62 to live. Job, you lose your income. If there's any inflation, this equation right here doesn't assume any inflation. It assumes everything stays the same and his rent never goes up. His car payments don't go up. Nothing goes up. It's impossible. It's an impossible cycle. The problem is nobody talks about this because nobody wants to go on TV and say, hey, millionaires are basically middle-class people that are worried about money. This is where the whole 10X concept comes up from, all right? Hey, man, what if it took 10 million? By the way, I think that's the number. CNBC says it's 5 million. I think the number's really 10 million, okay? 10 million with no new income, you could probably live the life you wanted to. So how would you get that if that's the number? Because this is clearly not the number. By the way, if you make 40 grand a year for the next 25 years, you're going to make $1 million anyway. You're going to make the money. If you make $80,000 a year, every time you double this, you cut the years. This takes 12 and a half years. If you make $160,000 a year, it takes you 6 years, right? Or you could just go make $1 million in a year. So you got to do the math. If you hadn't done the math, if you're going for the wrong target, I'm always talking about targets in here. You and the husband, you and the wife need to get the target right. I'm going to go buy, I'm going to get a new car. Dude, your attention needs to be on this. This is the target. It's not the watch, it's not the car, and it's not the vacation. It's freedom. 67% of wealthy people surveyed said they weren't going for wealth, for cars and boats and trips. They were going for the freedom of worry, to not be concerned about money every day. I want to be concerned about my kids. I want to be concerned about, what we do when we have time together. I want to be concerned about how happy I am in my marriage. I don't want to be worried about pieces of paper that I don't have enough of, or where it's going, or what things cost. That's why you're making these phone calls. Okay. Now, what's the target? I'm already rich. Okay. And I started with zero, just so you guys know. I didn't have anything. So when you're sitting there on the phone thinking, how am I going to get to there? You can, but you need to stay focused. Okay. So number one thing you got to do is this. You got to change the target, and you need to look at the target daily. Now, if you're struggling, you have the wrong target. When you change the target, everything changes. Every person I've ever sold, I treated like an investor. This guy is going to invest in my future. He's going to pay for my college. He's going to buy my shoes. Every time I'm on the phone, somebody's paying for my shit. So you don't need to wait to be a bank to get other people's money. The money that I put in real estate, that is other people's money I'm putting in real estate. How can you put 60 million in a deal? Dude, it ain't mine. It's like, what do you mean? You raising all? No, dude, I went and sold stuff. People gave me money and I put it in the real estate, which is part of this equation. Number one, the target. Number two, you need to get your income to a place. This is a fascinating concept right here. Okay, if you can do this, I guarantee you'll be rich. You need to get your income not to what pays your bills, but to where you can save 40% of your gross income is saved. All right, so when you sit down and do the math, what would it take for you to save 40% of your income? You make $10,000 a month, and you want to save 40,000 of it, you would pay yourself first. The government doesn't let you do that. They don't trust you. They're like, no, get that money from him first before he blows it. We know he's going to blow it. Okay? We know the IRS is going to they're going to withhold probably
40%.
4,000 of it. So look, if you'll pay the freaking IRS $4,000 of 10, you need to figure out how to pay yourself $4,000. What's the problem here? You got to live on 2. Now, this is the math you need to do with your spouse. You need to keep working it out until you're like, he's like, let's go buy a new car. Yeah, we ain't got any money for a new car. That's why when I was 35 years old, no one knew that I was a millionaire. It changed. I was still running with $40 shoes and working a shirt out as long as I could. Everybody saw I didn't have fancy cars. I'm driving a Camry because I was using this, okay? I pay the IRS. This money, by the way, a better word for saving is storage. I was storing money, not saving money. I'm storing it. I'm stockpiling, if you like that word better. You don't want to save money. It's worthless. Money is only good if you use it. How many heard this term? Cash is?
King.
It's worthless. Cash is worthless. It's not a king. If you leave money in this storage account too long, I guarantee you it will disappear. You don't want to leave it in storage too long because it's going to zero. All cash goes to zero. Let's kick this up to 20 grand. At 20 grand, what happens? You're saving 8. Storage. You're paying 8. And now you can live on 4. See, now this is the right way to do a budget. You make 30,000. 12's going to storage. 12's going to the IR and the S, and that leaves you with 6. So now you can start seeing, dude, you got to be somewhere north of 300 grand a year. This is what they don't teach you at Harvard. You got to be somewhere north of 360 a year before you even have money to live on, unless you're just an irresponsible human being that not putting storing money away for the future. Okay. Now you're saving 12 grand a month. That's $144,000 in 1 year. In 10 years, that's $1.4 million. In 10 years, you're a millionaire stored. Okay. So second thing to do, you gotta keep playing this 40% game. You guys need to be heavily money motivated from a survival standpoint. Okay. Number 3 thing you're gonna do. You're gonna go broke right here and invest the storage. The golden goose is only good if she lays eggs. Otherwise, you can kill her. Eat her for a chicken. Money needs to make babies, right? Your goal right here is to invest the storage money and continue to do that until this money over here, the passive money, is equal to your income. But there's 6 grand in storage right now. 6 grand, keep pumping the 6, keep pumping it until you find a place where you're like, I'm gonna invest this money now. When you make this move right here, do not invest in anything that is a maybe. You can't risk this money. Warren Buffett says, don't lose money, number 1. Number 2, don't lose money. Number 3, don't lose money. So what can you invest in? You can't leave it in the bank, because that's losing money. They don't pay you anything. Takes you 833 years to double your money at the bank today. saying, hey, at night, man, what am I doing with my money, man? Confront the beast. Target right here should be my passive income now exceeds monthly income. This money, you need to stay broke with this money. You need to get this money in a sacred account somewhere where no one is going to jack with this money. I remember my mom called me once and she's like, I got this thing going on. I'm like, I can't help you. I'd violate my policy here. Okay? Let me go sell something, see if I can get you some money. No, anybody came to me for help, it was like, I'm not your guy. I'm not the bank. Can't help you, dude. Right? So that's what it means by being broke. It doesn't mean get money, blow it. It means get money, store it, find a place that's going to go where you don't lose the money. Number 3, don't lose money. Cars, don't buy them, lease them. Where you live, don't own it, rent it. Just stack cash, wait till you can put it in something where it won't be lost. It just goes away for a while. First, I paid the IRS second just because I have to. And then I got leftovers. So Todd's gonna either live on the 6 or decide, fuck man, I gotta make more money, man. I can't treat the people I love like this. So what happens is Jared just gets more productive. So I'm not buying Bitcoin. I don't know anything about Bitcoin, man. You want to give me some Bitcoin? I'll take it. But I'm not buying Bitcoin because I'm not buying Twitter stock. I don't know anything about Twitter. Is Twitter going to be here in the future? I don't know. I only invest in things that I know will be there in the future, excluding my condo. I'm not going to buy that. I don't need that. I want to buy things that people pay for. So this investment right here needs to produce what? One of the criteria, can't lose money. Number 2, it has to give me a trip. If it don't have a baby, I ain't buying it. My goal is to what? I want money, passive money from this equal to this. So I'm not going to go buy Google stock. You know why? Because they don't pay a dividend every month. I'm not going to buy AT&T stock. AT&T pays a dividend every quarter. When do they collect their payments?
Every month.
Every month, man. Can you imagine calling AT&T and saying, dude, we want to pay you every quarter like you pay your dividends? That's how important monthly cash flow is. Do you understand that? They pay their dividends to investors every quarter. They collect checks every month. The difference between those 89 days makes them hundreds of millions of dollars. The Bank of America, Northern Trust right here, will lend me money to buy an apartment deal, but they won't lend me money to buy their own stock. Think about that. A bank will lend me money to buy a piece of property, but they will not lend me money to buy Bitcoin. So what do they believe in? Cash flow, man. They believe in cash flow. Cash flow, that any asset that generates cash flow into the future is going to be worth more money. This is boring, but I guarantee you it'll work. Okay? So 33 years old to 45 years old. There was no vacations. I didn't go to Hawaii. I went on one fishing trip. Okay? It was work, man. It was like, that's my vacation.